Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Lucky Felt. Today I have a new strategy for you guys. I call this one the pivot progression. Okay? The pivot progression is a negative progression system for roulette where the player pivots between different types of outside bets after each loss. The strategy aims to secure a win within the structured four-phase cycle before an escalation of the wager size is required. So basically, you're going to run through 3 or 4 of these cycles on losses before you actually, double your bet or martingale or whatever you'd like to call it. It works out really well. It's got broad coverage as your first phase. That's going to be your 2 dozens. Then you got your intersecting coverage, which is phase 2. Then you have your focus coverage on phase 3. This is going to be your phase that has the least amount of coverage on it. And then phase 4 is your even money bet. Okay. And the escalation rule: if you lose all 4 phases in sequence, the total loss for the cycle is 10 units. You must now restart the entire cycle from phase 1, but your new base unit becomes the amount wagered and lost in phase 4. Okay, phase 4 is your even money bet. Okay, so let's get started. Hey, before we start, please like and subscribe to the channel. And share it with anybody that you know that may be interested in learning about roulette or roulette strategies. That would be greatly appreciated. So let's get started with the broad coverage. It's going to be 2 dozens. We'll play this to $200 using $10 units and a $2,000 bankroll. You could use $5 units and a $1,000 bankroll, or dollar units and a $500 bankroll. Your choice. You can play this on an EBT machine, electronic betting table. And let's go again. We're up $20 right now, playing the 200. Okay, we've lost our broad coverage. So now what we do is we go to phase 2. Phase 2 is the intersecting coverage. So you pick a dozen in a column of your choice, and they intersect, and that's going to be jackpot numbers. Now you'll need 2 wins at this level. Unless you hit a jackpot number like we just did, you can restart. You see we're at $40. So let's go 10 and 10. $15, we missed it again. I don't think it's going to hit in that same area again. So I am going to go, I think it's going to hit somewhere around the 2. So I'm going to pick the first dozen and middle column. 13. I was way off. Okay, so we've lost that bet. So now what we do is we go to the focused coverage, which is basically 2 units on a single dozen or column of your choice. Here's a 27. We lost that. So now we have to double, and we go to 40, and we make this bet. 28. We got it. Okay, that puts us back up to 20. That's close enough. We really don't have to push it with this system, guys. So let's just go back to 10 and 10, and let's start building again to 200. There's a 23. And we're up $30. Trying to get to 200 on the pivot progression. Okay, so I didn't like that, so let's go 10 and 10. Here's a 1. So we got one of them, but we lost a second. So let's move this puppy down here. See if we can get a 1 repeating or a 4, 7, 10. There it is, 1 repeated. Excellent. There's $60. Then we'll go 10 and 10. If that single dozen hits again, which it did, I am going to play the other 2 dozens because it's hit 4 times in a row. Can it hit 5? Absolutely. Here we go. Now we're at $80. And we're at $90. And we're spinning 21. That should put us at $100. Okay. And we're spinning. And that's a 0. Okie dokie. So when a 0 hits, you just pick your dozen in your column that you want to bet on. And I am going to bet low. And I think it's going high. I think it's going low. Looking for 1, 4, 7, and 10 would be a jackpot number. 16. I got the one side of it right. So let's rebet that again and spin. See if we can get a 1, 4, 7, and 10. We're at 90. We could have restarted. We should have restarted, shouldn't we? Not a big deal. And then we're going to go 10, 20 on this dozen here. High number. Oh, I thought I saw the 31. I was getting excited. Okay, so we missed that. So now it's been hitting high for such a long time. I'm going to put my $40 bet right over here on the 1 to 18. Wow, it's still going high. Okay, so that just tells me I'm going to go 40 and 40 here because it's still going high. If it hits that middle dozen, which it did, now I'm going to switch it over and go to 40. And you see we're at 50. Go to 40 and 40 here. We hit this, we're going to be back at 90, so we can reset. We've got 2/3 of the board covered. And we got it. Okay, so now we can go back to 10 and 10. You see we're at 90. And we're spinning. And we got 11, so we've made 100. We're halfway there, guys. And we're spinning. And we got a 26. That's going to be a loss. So let's go 10 and 10 on that phase 2, the intersecting coverage. We got one of the two. We'll take it. And then let's go 10 and move that back up there. Just in case it hits in the first and second 12, we'll have that the other numbers covered at the top, third column, but we missed. So now we're going to go to our $20 bet on the dozen or column of your choice. I should have bet the first column. Yeah, either one would have lost. So now we're going to go 10, 20, 30, 40. I'm going to show you another way to recover, guys. If you choose to. Well, we didn't recover there, so now we have to go to 40 and 40. And we're spinning. Get 2 wins. Might go for 3 wins here. Got to win one first, don't we? 10, 20, 30, 40. 10, 20, 30, 40. Okay, let's spin. Let's hit that jackpot. 1, 4, 7, 10. And 34. Well, we got one of them. So let's just move this. Let's just keep it where it is. Let's give a couple more wins here. 19. We got that. Okay, we're at 10. Just stay here because we got to get to 90 at least before we reset. There's a 4. Okay, there's a 160. Now we're at 170. That's what I'm talking about. We hit it. Let's go 10 and 10. And 7. We got it. And let's go. I wanted to tell y'all about the profit rule. The primary goal is to achieve a net profit for the session. If any win brings your total bankroll back to your starting amount or into profit, the entire system should reset. Okay? Just build it up, reset it. Right now we're at 180. Let's go 10 and 10. See if we can get 2 more wins here. And we got 1. And let's go 10 and 10. Let's see if it goes high. And this will be our $200. And we got it. Excellent. We got our $200. Okay, this is the pivot progression. And the progression phases are, phase 1 is your broad coverage. So we'll go over that. That's your 2 dozen bet. Or, guys, you can also do the columns too if you choose. It's your choice. It's 2 separate columns or dozens. Then in phase 2, after you've lost your bet on both of those, say you're betting on first and second 12, it hits the third 12, then you go to the intersecting coverage. So you keep your bet the same. However, you're creating jackpot numbers, like 4 jackpot numbers where these intersect. So it gets you back, if you hit a jackpot number, it gets you back to your profit immediately, and you can reset. Otherwise, you would need 2 wins. And then focus coverage would get you back to your profit, or close to it. It's phase 3 of where you pick the single dozen. And then phase 4 is your even money bet, and then that's where you double. Now, if you lose phase 4, remember, your new phase 1 bet will be your base unit bet becomes the amount wagers on the last of the phase 4. So if you lost on the first cycle, you're going to be at you're going to be at $40. So your next bet's going to be 40 and 40 on the 2 dozens. Then you're going to play 40 on the dozen and 40 on a column. Then you're going to play 40 on just a dozen. And then if you lose that, you're in phase 4 again. You go from 40 to 80. Try to get a couple wins there. You can always move down if you feel safer having broader coverage. If you lose that, then you go 80-80 on the 24 numbers, 2 of the dozens or 2 of the columns. Okay, guys, let me know what you think about this system. Evaluate it, run some tests on it. I'd be interested in knowing what you think. You guys have a wonderful day. Thank you for watching. Bye.